What is going on Twitch and YouTube, and welcome back to Spot Hidden, where we are playing Achtung Cthulhu. And yes, you're probably wondering, why am I wearing a helmet? And why am I wearing something that looks like it's very warm, like I'm in cold weather? Well, I decided to dress as George S. Patton. So yeah, thought that'd be kind of fun. So let's bring in the troops. Whoa, what's going on, guys? It's been a while.
Intro, man. That was good. That was
what an intro.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just want to dress up. All right.
Yes, happy Sunday the 14th.
Sunday
Yes,
the
It
what?
is definitely Sunday the 14th.
It's
It
Sunday the
is.
14th.
We're not pre-recording
is.
this.
No,
whatsoever.
this is not a pre-recording
No.
at all.
No.
Please leave a message after the beep.
Why does this say King Tiger in
Tiger King.
No, it says
Oh,
King Tiger.
Well, perhaps we'll get to that part shortly.
Okay.
But yeah, how's everybody doing? It's been a while. Last time we streamed, it was October. For the audience, we took a 2-week break because 2 weekends ago, a Sunday was Halloween, and then the next Sunday was my birthday.
Happy birthday, honey.
Oh, I
Happy
appreciate
birthday!
that. Thank you.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
It was my 111th birthday, and I had a very old friend that came into town, and I had to bounce real quick and head over to Rivendell, where I've been hanging out for the past week. So yeah,
There you go.
cool. But yeah, so why don't we get right to it? So Matt, do you want to, with that luscious mustache that you have going now, why don't you go ahead and give us a rundown, a recap of what happened in the last episode of Achtung Cthulhu?
Be our huckleberry, Matt.
I'll be a huckleberry. All right. And 3, 2. So we started off with some dragon in the water, right? It was some cousin of the Loch Ness. It wasn't Loch Ness himself, but it was like the I don't know, relative. And they're like, ah! And then Carly's like, bang, bang. And then Carly dropped him in like a couple of shots. Huddy was like, oh, shit. Because he didn't plan as a keeper for the amount of damage we output typically. So then we're like, guess we got to continue on with the story, right? This was after walking on water. And then we're in a castle, but the castle's broken. So we're like, oh, fuck.
No,
Much
our
like most of my
castle.
spirit.
It's broken.
It's broken. And then we continue down into something, but then we end up under this pond. Remember, this pond is next to castle, I don't know, fucking whatever the sword's name is. And then the sword being the one that keeps showing up. It's something with the King Arthur and the sword and the stone, and the sword's name is
Excalibur.
Excalibur. Thank
Galadriel.
you very much.
No.
And then Gadriel Excalibur is stuck in the stone underneath the pond. We can see the water above us. We're like, oh shit! But it doesn't matter because then the Sir Victor Gawain is like, oi, Quint, and we're like, no, because our captain is down there, Captain Sir Wesley Pendragon. He's chained up, and we're like, oh, how do we figure this out? So we spent like an hour or two figuring out our plan, which honestly just ended up being the same plan anyway, which is just shoot all the Nazis. That's how you do it. So that's what we did. We ended up shooting a whole bunch of fake Nazis because they were too cowardice to even be the real thing. Honestly, well, they're both cowards. One is embedded in the other. Fuck all of them, right? So that's what we did. We shot them, and then Sir Victor Gwaine was like, oi, didn't expect to see y'all here, or whatever it is they say in Scotland. And then our captain, Wesley Pendragon, was like, I'm out here, cuh. And then he like dips out of here real quick. And we're like, where did he go? And so we're fighting the bad guy, and he's got this ugly burn mark. But we keep going. There's no more dragons anymore, but it is this guy, and he's kind of an asshole. And then Stone is like, I'm going to be a vampire again. And there's a whole long fight sequence, right? Because that's what we do. That's Achtung. That's what we do. And so Huddy's telling a great story. And then in the meantime, our captain, Wesley Pendragon, pulls the stone out of, or the stone from the sword from the stone. He pulls the sword, and then he's out of here. He's like, later. So he disappears. We're like, let's just kill this guy anyway. And then out on the distant rim of this cave. Remember, we're in a cave. I didn't include that, but we're in a cave. We're under the pond. He's like, hey, I have the sword. And we're like, oh my gosh. And he jumps down, and then he just stabs the shit out of Sir Victor Gawain. And then Victor Gawain's like, oh no! And then we're all like, oh my gosh! And then we leave the cave and we get up to the top and I don't know if we walk on water again. We probably did, honestly. Meaning Stone, got the trident back, so now we can get back with old Bessie there, the Kraken, right? That horse that was tamed many episodes ago, back in the third and fourth episode, if you'll recall. And then we found out that the cousin, the relative, the Loch Ness monster that Carly went clap clap. A Stone didn't want to, and even Pinky didn't want to, but Anushka was like, "I want to kill everything in sight," and that's what happened. Don't deny it, Carly. And then our captain Wesley Pendragon was upset because they were friends, and he was actually a little bit in tears. So we did lose that part of history, but that's okay because that's how bullets work. Welcome to Achtung.
Oh, right
Yeah,
at
under
4
4
minutes, or right under 4 minutes. Excellent job, Matt. I
Thank
don't
you.
believe that's a new record, but
It's not.
excellent job. All right.
Exist.
So, does anybody have anything else they want to say before we plunge deep into the snow?
Please stop feeding his ego about these intros. Please.
Don't tell me how
Please,
well
I'm
I'm doing
begging
so I can
you.
keep going.
I'm sorry.
I'm
With that
begging.
mustache now, I will continue to feed Matt's ego. And we are back with Achtung Cthulhu. We open up with Pinky. You're asleep, Pinky. You feel a cold breeze on your neck. You begin to awake. You hear Stone Hayes across from you go, "Oh, good. You're awake." Sorry, I had to say that.
That's what he sounds like. Yes.
You notice that you hear a truck's engine. You're hearing bumps in the road. It's not light outside. It is still dark where you are, but you notice you're in the back of a transport truck, an American transport truck, heading down the road. It is about 4 a.m. In this truck, in the back of this truck, you have Anushka, Stone Hayes, and yourself. Anushka is still asleep, but Stone Hayes is looking at you.
Sorry, I guess I dozed off a little bit. Stone.
Well, I expect with a mission like this, I can't imagine someone like you, Pink, would be falling asleep.
Sorry. Mortal habits, right?
Now, one and the same. One and the same.
Like snuggling to my rifle.
It's December.
She looks so peaceful when she sleeps, but so angry when she's awake.
It's December 16th. It's 4 a.m., and you're arriving to the front lines of the Belgium border. As the transport truck stops, you hear the tires kind of slip on the wet mud underneath, and you hear the brakes going as the truck comes to a complete stop. You hear a door open and close, and you hear tracks in the mud as an American soldier comes up to the back tailgate and lets it down and says, "All right, agents, this is a stopping point. It's time for you to get out."
It's better than getting caught in a tree in the Alps. I'll tell you that much.
I do a stretch. Is Anushka awake yet?
She is
Yeah.
now, and
Yes.
I'll
I
swap
didn't know if that was up to
swap
me.
the rifle from what she's nestling on.
I just like grab his hand.
Yes, you are awake, Anushka. You are waken up by the sound of the tailgate dropping. And as you all exit the back of this truck, you will notice that you are in a very small Belgium village. It is still dark outside, of course. There is snow on the ground. The mud is very wet. There's no cobblestones or cement streets. This village is still stuck a couple of years back in history. I wouldn't say it's a poor village, but they are still making their way through society. So you do see some jeeps and trucks kind of bogged down in the snow and in the mud.
Little town. It's a quiet village.
Yeah, it is very quiet. You do see some troops hanging out on corners. You do see. I see what you're doing. You're trying to make a Beauty and the Beast reference.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Look, there she goes. That girl is so strange and so peculiar. I think that's how the song goes.
Close enough.
Close enough, yeah. All right, back to it.
Sorry.
So, you do see some American troops smoking some cigarettes early in the morning. Many of them are asleep in this town. Very good, Trevor. Yes, it is. It is cold. So yeah. If everybody would give me a spot hidden roll, please. First roll of the night.
Oh, shit.
All right.
I should open up my character sheet.
That would probably be
54,
best.
85, success.
Excellent.
It feels good to be a player again. I will say, as Trevor is finding his role, I just ran a 6-hour-long session of Clouded Desert.
Sure
Another
freaking did.
playtest with a group of friends. It was wild.
How did that
well
go?
Done, Pinky. It was good, interesting, but good. And now that's why you do a playtest.
Excellent. Well, I can't play. I can't wait to play it again.
I know.
I'll never get off this one fucking scenario. Anyway, what
Well,
we see?
also, I got a hard success on the spot hidden.
Oh.
Excellent. Yes, Eric and Anushka both got successes. Eric, Pinky got a hard success, and Stonehaze made a failure. But Stonehaze, you are looking around in this village, trying to keep your awareness up, trying to see where entrances and exits are in this place. But Pinky and Anushka, you hear a set of footsteps coming towards you, and what you see in front of you is kind of a 6-foot, physically physiqued man with, it looks to be American Armored Engineering uniform on. As he comes towards you, he's a captain of a armored division, and he comes up to you and are you the agents of KP?
It's us.
Good. Well, welcome to our small village. You all look very tired, and I'm sure you are very hungry.
I could eat.
Excellent. Well, come in this way. I'm going to take you inside the small tavern, get you something to eat. We'll talk there. Follow me. And so as the captain takes you into this small 2-story building, you walk in. You see no one else in this tavern, but you do see a cook behind the bar. You see him exit through 2 double doors. You do smell food coming out of these double doors. You can probably tell that this is a cook cooking breakfast for the troops in this village, because shortly these troops will be getting up. The captain takes you to a large circle table. He points to the chairs, initiating, hopefully for y'all to sit down, as he pulls back his chair and sits. He looks up at you, whether or not you sat down or not, and says, well, we have hot stew, and our cook back there is making fresh eggs and bacon for the breakfast, but I have to say I do have to reserve that for my boys. But if you would hear me out, I don't know if they briefed you on the mission. I know it was very sudden, but we've had some sort of disturbance out in the woods.
Well, briefing aside, give us your side of the story.
Yes, well, it seems as though one of my tanks had gone missing. There's an M4 Sherman outside there. It's that exact tank. Our recon patrol, they found the tank around 5 o'clock yesterday. The tank's crew was missing, but there was blood all over the tank, and there were scratch marks all over the tank. Now, I've been told that you three are the best of the best, and that you deal in specific hunting of things of this nature.
Well, you telling
Sometimes
me
a bit too
a
well.
What is it you think you saw?
Well, I wasn't there on site. I didn't see anything. But
you telling me your tank crew couldn't handle a bear?
listen, I grew up in Wyoming. I've seen some big bears, and the claws on this was not a bear. I can take you out to the tank if you want to look at it. But not all of the crew had been killed or had been vanished. We did find the private first class that was a part of this tank crew. He was cut up bad and bleeding very, very bad. He's over in the medical station right now, trying to heal up. What he said he saw, well, it's probably best that you talk to him if you want.
Can do.
And you see the captain kind of snap his fingers over to the cook as this American cook comes out and brings 3 bowls of soup for y'all. This is hot stew. It's not the best food that you had, but it's going to fill your stomach for right now.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It's cold out here, so hot meals really go a long way.
Keeper, what month are we in?
This is the month of December. It's December 16th, 1944. It's around 4 a.m. in
Thank
the
you.
Belgium border.
Anushka, I think you should talk to the private.
I certainly can. I don't know why I'm the one that should be the go-to for this, but
Sure, that's a good idea. Send the
it's in the Russian. Why
Eastern
not?
European to talk to the American soldier. That's
All right. Where is he at?
The private first class, he's in the med station.
All right. I will go see what he saw, I suppose.
His name's Randon, by the way, Randon McDonald.
What was your name? I'm sorry, we skipped introductions.
I'm Captain Price.
Captain Price. All right. All right. I will see what I can find out.
Price.
As Anushka, you get up and leave and walk out the tavern. We are left with Stonehaze and Pinky. Boys, after you're done with the stew, I could take you out to the Sherman, let you look at it, see if you've seen any claw marks like these before.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Sure, I figure I'll pick up on a couple things.
Good.
But Price, do you know a soap?
So, are you saying that I
Yeah.
smell?
No, did you know a soap?
I believe you were speaking of another time, Pinky.
No, sorry. I don't know. I knew a soap. He said he knew a Price. I don't know. I made the connections. Sorry.
No, I don't know anybody with the name. So, my name's Captain Carter Price.
Right. Sorry. Sorry. It bogged my memory. I thought I knew someone. Sorry. We'll go look at that. We'll go look at that tank now.
Okay. Just follow me. And you see the captain get up, and he leads you out the door. We're going to skip to Anushka. Anushka, you've made your way to the med station. You do notice that it is a very long tent set up in between two houses that have a good space in between each other. And there are lights lit up in this tent, this medical tent. And you see a couple of nurses that you could assume that they were women of this Belgian village who have volunteered to help out. There's not really a lot of soldiers laying out in these medical tents, but there is one.
All right, I will approach him.
As you approach, you do see this soldier, and he's a young guy. He's about 18 years old. Could be younger. But he is asleep.
I'm gonna not like grab aggressively, but like get the attention of like one of the nurses and say, would it be all right if I woke him up to ask him some questions about what happened to him?
And you see one of the nurses. You struggle with this nurse with dialect, but
Right.
she kind of comprehends what you are saying, and she kind of nods her head as she turns and walks away. You see her kind of yawn, as you can believe that she has just arisen from her a deep slumber.
I'm gonna approach the bed and try not to scare this poor kid, and just be like, excuse me, private, if I could speak to you. But like, I don't want to put my hands on him and like jolt him awake or anything. I just want to kind of, gently wake him up as best I can.
Wake the fuck up!
Yeah.
Yeah, can you give me a luck roll, please, or a stealth roll?
Okay, I can do stealth.
Failure. 92 versus
90.
80.
Yeah. I had a 20% chance failing, and I sure fucking did.
As you say this, you see the private.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I did not mean to startle you. I was trying to do the exact opposite. Hi.
Who are you?
I am Anushka Dragomir. I am here investigating.
Are you German?
No, I am Russian.
Where is everybody?
Everybody is. We're all here. You're back at camp. You are being taken care of by these lovely women. They're very, very kind and very hospitable. I have forgotten what my accent sounds like.
Am I Eastern European?
I went into Eastern European for a minute. Right. They're taking wonderful care of you. You are safe here.
Can you give me a persuade or psychology roll, please? Or charm? Or fast call?
3140 success.
You seem to put this young man at ease as he begins to stop breathing so heavily, and he begins to breathe normally, and he seems to calm down, and he looks at you and says, I guess you're here about what happened.
I am. Would you be alright talking about it?
Listen, ma'am, I've never seen anything like it. As he's telling the story, you do look down and see this very large bandage that goes across his body. We were out on patrol. We had taken the M4 Sherman out. We were out east of here. And we stopped, and we were all just taking a piss out in the snow, and it got real cold, real fast. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it is already cold, but it was deathly cold. And it was almost like a blizzard had come out of nowhere and engulfed the trees and our surroundings, and I got lost from my group. And then I heard the screams. I made my way back to the tank, but there was so much blood. So much blood. The private looks away.
You didn't see what caused it? Any sort of tracks or anything? I know about the claw marks on the tank, but
Have you ever heard of a Yeti?
I have heard stories.
I've seen bears, cougars, and mountain lions. My family has taken me to a zoo many years ago when I was a kid, and I've seen other animals, large animals, exotic ones. But that creature was not an animal from this earth.
All right. So I'm guessing big, hairy, maybe?
I only
All right,
saw
now hang on.
I only saw the back of it. But yes, it was hairy. And it was standing on both of its hind legs.
All right. Thank you. I'm sorry you had to go through that. But thank you for going through it again and telling me what happened.
Just do me a favor. Kill the bastard for me.
That is what we are here for. And I'm just going to kind of pat him on the shoulder gently and walk back to find the boys.
And we're going to cut back to Stonehaze and Pinky as they're being led over to this M4 Sherman tank. So if you will look on your Roll20 sheet.
Is it season 2 or season 3 we're waiting on? The boys.
The boys?
Yeah.
Season 3 probably.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, because Jensen Ackles is going to be in it. Oh, I'm so excited.
So this is an M4 Sherman tank. This is the popular tank used by the American Army, I believe from 1942 through the rest of the war. It is covered in snow, but it is covered in blood also. You do notice scratch marks on the side of the tank. And yeah, this tank is located in a fork in the road, kind of the entrance of the main part of the village. Kind of just sitting there, kind of protecting the entrance to this town.
So it's me and Stone and who else?
This Captain Carter Price.
Cool. Captain?
Yes, soldier, sorry. I was having a hot cup of joe.
Does it run?
The tank? Yeah. Well, we found the private inside, and The recon patrol got inside, helped the private out. A couple other guys took him back on the jeep, and the other ones took the tank and brought it back here.
Right. Okay.
Keeper, how deep are the scratch marks? Are they similar to something I would recognize?
Yeah, if you want to give me a spot hidden roll, or
Can
a
do.
occult roll, or a mythos roll, I can give you more information. Or a Witcher knowledge roll.
Witcher knowledge, okay. Just for safe measure, we're gonna go with spot hidden. I like the idea of the others. We're gonna use the ability I have for 16 versus 67 success.
These are very deep cuts. Now remember, this is a tank. A tank that has armor on it. Now, a Sherman's not going to have heavy armor, but it needs armor to stop light mortar rounds, or light artillery rounds, or light tank rounds. A sword or anything sharp should not be able to penetrate the hide of this tank. But it seems as though this tank has had bits and pieces of it shredded. Almost like if Wolverine uses adamantium claws against it.
Hey, Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever this thing was, it doesn't know shit about tanks.
Oh, from what I can tell, it was a hell of a lot tougher than what I got to offer.
Oh yeah, obviously, I know, but where it slashes, it could have taken this tank out easier, if you know what I mean. Like the tracks, for instance, are untouched. It's all in the bottom.
Am I frozen? I think I'm frozen. Perfect.
Yeah, no, I
Whatever
mean, you're
did
right,
this-
you're right,
Whatever
right.
did this to this tank didn't know anything about tanks.
No, you're smart, Pinky. Yeah, no, I trust what you're saying there. So, my colleague here has a point, Captain. So, Creature's an idiot. That's what he's saying.
Yep. And it can be fooled.
There you go.
Well, I do have a reconnaissance jeep that we're not using for a couple hours, so if you fellas and your pal want to take it for a spin, I can tell you exactly where we found the tank, and you can look, see if you find anything else.
You want to come along with us?
I have to stay here.
Understood.
It's time to find ourselves some tracks. Is Anushka going to be joining us?
As you say that, Anushka begins to walk up.
We have a Yeti, apparently.
Don't be a fool. Yetis don't exist, Anushka. Come on now.
That's exactly
Neither
what I
do
told that
vampires.
private.
What's that?
That Yetis don't exist.
See, now I'm glad we're on the same page. Mythological creatures are out of. It's a little bit ridiculous, to be honest.
Vampires, dragons.
Dragons,
What else? is there?
Frankensteins.
Frankenstein. Zombies.
Zombies, they
That
don't
is a big
exist
one.
now. Yeah.
Definitely not.
You three have a weird sense of humor. Let me take you to the reconnaissance jeep. Do y'all wish to go and look? Have a look where they found the tank.
May as well find ourselves some tracks.
Excellent.
If it is snowing, we will not find tracks.
Follow me.
Ooh.
I'll take you to the reconnaissance jeep.
Well, Anushka, that's where you come in. You're the track finder here.
No? Okay.
Anushka, I will tell you this. It is snowing. However, it's not heavy snow yet. There is still
got
mud on the ground because it has been raining. So the ground is wet.
Okay.
So if there's heavy tank tracks, you'll probably still see it right now.
Oh, I didn't mean tank tracks. I meant like Yeti tracks.
Oh, okay, okay,
It's
yeah.
steady 35 degrees outside Fahrenheit. For anybody listening,
There you go.
35 degrees Fahrenheit outside.
I thought you were about to smoke a cigar right there.
I didn't know what you were doing. And I didn't know.
Chocolate.
Is that a Tootsie Roll?
It was a Twix. Boom.
All right, so as you're walking down this road, talking to one another, the captain of this armored division is leading you down this path, and you do see in the darkness that is your surrounding a reconnaissance jeep, an American reconnaissance jeep that is right in front of you. And the captain pats on it, says, she's all fueled up, she's good to go, she shouldn't give you any problems.
Cool. Thank you, Captain.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys ready to get going?
Yeah, and there is a radio in the back of that Jeep. I have a radio back at the tavern. That's kind of our HQ. And
Cool. What's your frequency?
if you, what's that?
What's your frequency for the radio?
3.5.
I was gonna say 4.
14.
Cool.
What would be a correct frequency? I don't know radio terms.
I don't know. I don't know
96.9
either.
WKFM.
No, no.
Sirius
that's not
XM.
two-way radios. That's
It-
like 10 used to be.
It's AM, so like 600, I think, maybe.
All right, well, he gives you the
Sheriff's
right
office.
thing for the radio, and yeah, so you have this Jeep and a radio in the back, so you're good to go. As you see the captain walk off, he kind of puts his hands back into his jacket to kind of bundle up as he's heading back towards the entrance of the village and back to the tavern.
Heck yeah.
I caught
Sorry,
Hudson
you
off
hear?
guard today. Yes.
You did, you got me. You got me.
Every day I do that is a successful day.
I
All right.
feel like this for a lot of
that's-
people for some reason.
I wish we could have seen his face when that happened.
I know.
Catch him off guard.
I got to get the Zoom thing figured out.
No, we could totally see your face because we're also watching
On
Twitch while
Twitch,
it's while
'cause
it's
we're
live.
live.
Right,
this
right.
Sunday,
This isn't a
the
pre-recording
14th.
message.
Chat, it's good to see you,
Hi, chat.
Ian.
Hey, Mama.
Hey, Mama. Hey,
There it is.
Mama, stop saying that Trevor and Matt should hook up. That is inappropriate.
It'll happen eventually, but we need money, okay?
That's right.
I thought you were gonna say you need time. You need to
That
build up
too.
to that. That's like a season
Yeah.
2 kind of thing.
We're
That's a
both hopeless romantics, all right?
Excellent.
That's
So,
great.
uh,
Okay.
yeah, you have this Jeep at your disposal.
We go to where the tank was.
Which way is the sunset keeper?
Anushka, want to drive?
Absolutely not.
So
Drive?
you will remember that the captain did say it was east of here. So you'll go opposite of the entrance of the village. And I would show you the battle map for the village, but we have to save that for another point of the episode.
Oh.
So there are maps. So stay tuned. And so give me a drive auto, Pinky. I assume you're the one driving.
I'm always the one driving. Hard success, 17 versus 50.
Excellent. You start this Jeep up, you hear the rumble begin, and you do sit there for a little bit just to let the engine warm up, make sure you don't just drive off immediately, damaging it because of the cold. And you're able to start it off. A couple of minutes later, you are driving down this Belgium road. You do see some light begin to start piercing through the horizon part of the tree line, as you do begin to assume that the sun is rising. And it's a red glow. Blood has been spilt this night. And as you're driving down this muddy Belgium road, it's about 15 minutes later, you come to a fork in the road. And give me a spot hidden roll, please.
A 1985 hard success.
Excellent.
Oh, come on.
Excellent. As everybody got successes, perfect. So as you are sitting here in this fork in the road, you all three notice large tank tracks going to the left, veering off, not going down the left road or the right road. It veers off, going past the left road into the tree line.
Look, it is veering off, going past the left road into the tree line. We should follow it.
Could you take a hot left real quick?
Yo, what?
Was that English?
Left!
I turned left.
All right, as your Jeep veers off the road, it kind of bumps and then jumps back up. Now it's kind of treading through light-covered snow and mud as you're going through the tree line. Give me a drive auto again, please, Pinky.
Sure, we'll try our best.
No, for real, Stone. Was that English? I don't.
It was close enough. And
As you're driving, you hear a large thud, and you start hearing the right tire just squeaking and squealing. It's going, but you have been bogged down because of the mud and snow.
Can I jump out to try and lift that tire up out of the mud to see if you can get some traction?
He's already out of the Jeep before I even suggested it.
Excellent. Give me a strength roll, please.
I'm looking in the Jeep for some like boards or anything that we can put under the tire.
Hard success for 47.95.
Yes.
Stay in the Jeep, Anushka.
As you lift up the front end of this Jeep, the right side, to be exact, you kind of also help get it over this small kind of ditch that has bogged you down. And you're able to get back in as you drop your hat into the snow. You're able to get back into the Jeep, and you're off again. About 6 minutes later, you arrive in a clearing in this dense forest. It's a clearing like you have really never seen before. Trees have been knocked down, but there's no explosion or craters of any kind that would mark that this was hit by any sort of bombs or artillery, anything like that. But there are a couple of trees down, and if you go to your roll 20, I can show you what it looks like.
Anyone else getting flashbacks to Dark Ages?
Dark Ages.
What's Dark Ages?
Clearing. And the bad times that we had in that clearing.
Where are we at? Oh, that's a.
Oh, that's not where we
thing.
are. Never. Oh, Matt. Matt, that's obscene.
Why do you assume it's me?
We immediately knew it was you.
Who else would it be?
They don't know what they're talking about, chat, or
Matt,
anyone who's
just
watching
like-
this.
He drew a large peen.
That wasn't even 10 seconds.
Literally. Second
No
the map
idea what they're
came
talking
up,
about.
it was
I was
there.
looking at my
It's
character
like-
sheet.
You know what this map needs?
I give you a good map, because you request maps, and then you draw a penis on the map.
We're very disappointed in you, Matt.
And now it's a great map.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
If
so
you look,
continue on.
if you look in the snow, there is a yellow square. That is where you all are. You're in the yellow
Alright.
snow.
Hey,
So-
guys, yeah.
First thing I'm gonna do is get out of the Jeep, go to the back where the radio is,
and eat the yellow
make
snow.
contact, and say, HQ, this is Cthulhu 69 checking in.
Go ahead, Cthulhu 69. This is HQ.
It's not canon.
3 vantage points. We just want to make sure that we were checking in 5 by 5.
Roger, Roger. We're all good to go. Let us know if you find anything. Good luck to you.
10-4, over and out.
How are you?
Yeah.
Or just
Cthulhu
fine,
69. We have no idea who Cthulhu is.
We don't.
Excellent. So you're out in this clearing. You do notice tank tracks have been here, and they do stop kind of in the middle of this clearing.
I want to go investigate where the tank was.
Excellent. As you're walking up to where the tank tracks stop, if everybody would give me a spot hidden roll, please.
Yeah, we'll say Stones with Anushka there.
Why, just so you can steal my spot hidden
Yes.
again?
Just like that. 2267, hard success.
I'm not even going to tell you what I rolled because it's not looking worth it.
As Stonehaze looks and Anushka looks, Pinky is still on the radio talking to the captain, but Stonehaze and Anushka get out of the Jeep and begin to head towards where the tracks stop. What you notice is the tracks are deep in the snow. It is muddy. Your feet also sink kind of into the mud. It is cold out there. You notice these trees laying on the ground. You're going to notice scratch marks on these trees. You'll also notice faint signs of blood in the snow. They are around these tracks. If you wish to give me a natural world roll, I can give you more information.
Oh, man. Oh, man. That was a 17-10 failure. That was so close.
8510 failure. You can roll that.
I'm not spending my luck points. We're not going to get more from that. So, can I see, or was the natural world roll to see where the scratch marks on the trees, like which direction they led?
If you want to see if there's any tracks or where the scratch marks lead to, I'll take a track roll, or I'll take a track roll. But the natural world roll, what I can give you is there are a couple of trees down that seem to be frosted over. But yes, so you gave me a track roll.
Yeah, we both failed.
Okay. Anushka, as you said back in the camp, you are right. The snow has begun to fall a little bit heavier and has covered up any signs of tracks. Or perhaps whatever did this covered up the tracks themselves.
You know, I want to point out that times like this, where do you get the idea that I can track things? Because I can't find shit here.
Well, I mean, I can't exactly find nothing either. So, I did a little bit of hunting my time, but...
Wait, okay, there's blood here, but there are no bodies? Were the bodies recovered?
Well, I mean, you're the one who spoke to the private.
He did. He would not know if the bodies were recovered or not. Either way, if the bodies were not recovered and they were brought somewhere, can you use your little vampire senses to know?
Vampire senses?
I don't know. Can't you smell blood or something?
I mean, sure, but that doesn't make me much different for you guys. I mean, it's just,
That's a common assumption among vampires.
Okay, look. That was
It's a
Mark Harvey.
stereotype.
Okay, look.
Shout out to my favorite vampire right now, Edgar Markov, who's helping me win Magic the Gathering.
Ah,
Not Stonehaze. Stonehaze is not Hudson's favorite
not
vampire.
Hudson's.
No,
Mine
if you
is
were cool as
vanilla.
Edgar Markov, whew.
My minus Carmilla because she's a lesbian. Okay. So you can't, maybe if they took like bits of the body back to its lair, you could not sniff it out. I don't know. I don't want to. I'm not trying to be rude. I promise you. I'm not trying to be
No,
rude.
no, 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 no. All right, give me a second. Keeper,
Yes, sir.
can I detect anything?
This is what you detect.
God, Pinky.
Really, right now.
I'm like
When he's
off the radio,
trying-
like, what?
He's trying to sniff something out, and you do that?
Pinky, your conversation with the captain's ended, so you can rejoin the group if you wish, or
I'm
do
like,
something
after
with
that,
G.
you
the radio, right? As you say, what?
Um,
What?
So, you want to detect something, so give me a... Let me see real quick. Let me pull up your character sheet.
Go for it. Stone Mr. Hayes.
Let's see here.
Bright blue eyes, gray hair. Stands at approximately 6'2", I believe.
So, you can either give me a track roll, which I know you probably won't, or a listen roll, or
Don't say spot hidden.
a navigate roll. Track, navigate, or listen.
Well, the most logical and the role with the most potential would be a listen with a skill of 59%. So we're going to roll that versus 100. And failure, 90 versus 59.
As you are all standing there, Stonehaze kneels to the ground and puts his hand on the ground. Your eyes go black, Stonehaze. It's quiet. You hear the wind rustling in the breeze. It's cold, but it does not affect you. It will affect Anushka and Pinky. But it's not deathly cold, as the young private in the med tent described to Anushka. You can't hear anything out of the ordinary. But out of nowhere you hear, "Shh, shh, come in, agents, come in, agents."
Ah,
This is Cthulhu 69, calling the Hotel Quebec.
Agents, this is HQ, this is Captain Carter Price. You find anything?
Nothing as of yet, sir. We do see some footprints, but as of right now, nothing certain as of the moment. Over.
Alright. Well, head back to base whenever. We have breakfast ready, so I'm sure you might want some of that also.
Copy. Heading back to base soon enough. Over.
That seems a waste. Should we not be trying to hunt this thing down?
He doesn't know how far we are out. We got a couple more minutes before we.
come on, man.
What?
I rolled a track roll for fun and got a 19 versus 19.
Take it.
I didn't expect it. Well, it's up to the keeper if that's taken. But
You
For funsies.
pick up on a smell. Smell of blood.
Sneef, sneef.
The way I will describe this in modern terms, to give a visual for the audience, for anybody who's played, of course, The Witcher 3, when Geralt is using his Witcher senses and you are trying to smell wine or blood in the air, it kind of leaves that red vapor, kind of mist in the air that you can follow. Stonehaze, that is what you are witnessing, is this kind of red vapor in the air that you can follow.
Fuck the team. Let's follow it.
As you are walking away from this clearing, you notice the edge of these woods become denser and heavier with tree line. Can everybody give me a listen roll, please?
Hard success, 15 versus 9.
Failure, 90 versus 74.
Pinky and Anushka, as you're walking with Stonehaze away from the jeep, Anushka and Pinky, you begin to hear the radio chatter pick up again. And you were caught off guard with HQ coming in saying, "Agents, shh, 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 shh." Stonehaze, what you hear is the loud rumbling above you. If you look above you, you see the sun rising. Light is piercing through the sky. And what you see above you is large German bombers heading towards the front lines of the Allied forces. And in the distance, you hear the loud rumbling of tanks.
Shit.
Something's going on with the radio.
I hear that. Are they getting bombed?
I don't know. Stone, should we head back?
Time to take cover, boys. And does the scent of blood, if it's still being tracked, does it lead towards the rumbling tanks?
Yes, it does.
Back to camp we go.
Excellent.
Back to camp.
As you all pile into the Jeep, Pinky, I'm not going to make you do a drive auto. You begin to drive. You drive, of course, around the ditch that you hit. You come back on the fork in the road. Stonehaze and Anushka, you do look behind you on this road, and you see a line of German half-tracks and tanks coming up on the road as Pinky floors it going down this Belgium road. What this is the counterattack by the German army. It is the beginning of the Battle of the Bulge, as you begin to see artillery coming in, blowing up the tree lines, mortar fire hitting the side of the road as you are veering out of the way from explosion after explosion. And with that, we are going to take a short break, and we will be right back after our few messages brought to you by Matt. So, Matt, why don't you take us out with those messages?
I got you. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, here with Spot Hidden. So, make sure to check out John Sausages, making hot dogs since about 1954.
And we are back here on Spot Hidden playing Achtung, Cthulhu. Did everybody refill on drinks and go use the restroom?
So thanks for considering John sausages. All right, yeah, no, I'm good. I got a refill on my whiskey cranberry. This is the first drink I've had in over 2 months,
Ooh.
like I mentioned in text.
Whiskey cranberry.
So, your boy is feeling good.
Yeah.
Just finishing off my Coca-Cola here.
we are not sponsored by Coca-Cola.
I'm trying to get sponsored by whiskey.
My generic cola here.
There you go.
Brown.
And we are back. We are back in the thick of it. The Battle of the Bulge has started. It's early in the morning with the counterattack by the German army. You are driving down this muddy road as the German army is pulling up right behind you. As you make your way back into the village, you pull up right in front of the M4 Sherman that's just sitting there in the road. As you see these buildings just exploding, you see fire and craters being created all around you. You see the tavern HQ explode as rubble goes everywhere, debris goes everywhere. If everybody would give me a dodge roll, please.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, come on.
Yeet. 9577 failure.
I'm the only one with a hard success.
82.
Pinky, you're able to jump underneath the Jeep as Anushka and Stonehaze, you both have splinters that are coming by you as Splinter goes and cuts you across the face, Anushka,
Master Splinter, why?
with a scar that will be there for the rest of your life.
Fuck.
Stonehaze, you have splinters that penetrate your chest.
Not tiny little wooden stakes.
Yes, this kills Stonehaze. Matt, roll for a new character.
Okay.
No.
So Matt, get off Instagram while we're recording.
What are you talking about?
We're not recording. This is live.
And so,
It's Sunday, November 14th.
yeah, you have explosions going off around you. And yeah. As you and Anushka Stonehaze have taken 1 point of damage.
Okay, that's not terrible.
No.
Vehicle change?
How far are we
Son
from
of a
camp?
Bitch. All right. Are we by camp?
Yes.
There's an M4 Sherman right in front of us.
Yes.
You all there?
I
You're
don't know.
you're in the you're in front of the entrance to the village. Oh yeah. I can probably show you this now. If you go on the Roll20 sheet, I will show you where you are.
I love how Hudson's like, yeah, hey guys, come back to the village. We're like, no, we're gonna go off in the woods. And Hudson's like, hey guys, go back to the village.
Come on back to the village.
Who's green and who's
So
red?
yeah, you are the grain. That is you.
Yeah, that figures.
So that is where you are located.
For
We
those
want
of
to
you
take
at home,
really-
we have a village. One part of the village is elevated a little bit by mesa, but the road's connected to the lower portion. There is a bridge, and across that bridge, and of course the subsequent stream, there is a red square, which represents what I imagine to be a German tank.
Yes, and we'll get
Yes.
to that shortly. As you're looking at this M4 Sherman, as you're trying to figure out if you should get inside or not, you see American troops running across the road. You see mayhem and panic as many of these troops begin to retreat. And
Where did
out
they?
of the turret pops the captain of the armored division. Agents! Perfect! I don't have anybody else to crew this tank, but I could use your help.
That's what we're here for.
Excellent. Hop in.
I hate tanks. I hate them so much.
Anushka, you're gunner.
Anushka,
Stone,
you will be gunner.
You're co-driver.
All right.
Stone.
Stone, you'll be in the passenger co-driver's seat. You'll
do it.
You'll have a 30 cal machine gun. Pinky, I assume you'll be driving. Anushka, You will have the main
Warlord.
turret, and
yeah.
the captain of this armored division is going to be on the top turret with the 50 cal machine gun. And if you look on the Roll20 sheet, I will show you your Sherman tank that you can play with.
Yeah.
The more lead, the better.
Hey,
Wait, who's loading the ammunition
So-
for Anushka?
I'll do it.
If you
I
go
guess.
onto the character sheet of this M4 Sherman, you will see that it
Oh.
has 60 hit points.
It has a character sheet.
Yes, he does have a character sheet, and he does have the. All right, so Anushka, your part is the 75, 76 millimeter cannon.
Okay.
You gotta load your own ammunition, so that's like an entire turn.
It has it has 15 rounds of ammo,
Yeah.
and then it has you have the front passenger 30 cal, which is where you are, Stonehaze. That has about 300 rounds. The top turret will be
Rain
where
Hill.
the captain is. He has about 250 rounds of 50 cal ammo. Awesome. And as well, Pinky, go ahead and give us a drive auto, please.
What does
Yes,
it did
sir.
you say? Where you're from, Stone, raise hell, praise Dale.
Let's fucking do it. Well done, Anushka.
Jesus.
Yes.
Extreme success, 650.
Extreme success from Pinky as this M4 Sherman begins to roar, ready for action. You hear the captain go, "All right, listen. I already spot about..." I had the count. I already spot about 5 Stugs coming up the road. We have one on our left, and I see one coming up on the right down the forest.
I'm gonna lean down to Stone real quick. What is a stug? What does that mean?
Tank.
Okay,
Shoot
thank you.
that shit.
All right.
With that extreme success, Keeper, if you don't mind, I'd like to keep the tank moving while we're engaged in combat.
Okay. And how I'm going to do this is, since we're a full crew, a full team, nobody has to roll for initiative because we're acting as one in a way. So we'll just discuss what the tactic's going to be to take out these tanks. All right.
Yeah.
So if you look on the map, yes, the red squares or red rectangles are a bunch of Stug-Gs that are coming up into this village. Stug-G is a medium tank. It is fast. It does not have full rotation of a turret. Its turret can only shoot in the front. It does have a MG42 attached to the top of it, though, which is a machine gun. So yeah, but this is an anti-tank tank itself, so it does pack firepower that could shred through a Sherman, though.
Fire!
Awesome.
Stone! Fire!
That's all you had to say. We'll pull that charging handle back and let loose 30 caliber hell, but it is up to Anushka to deliver the main punch.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just waiting for direction.
all right, Anushka, turn 30 degrees to left.
Do it.
Excellent. As you give me an operate heavy machinery.
Oh hell. I don't know if I was the best one for this. That's 42-31 failure. If it was a firearms, no, I'm real good with firearms.
As you begin to rotate this turret, you do miss the mark that he is telling you. So the turret is not pointed at the tank.
I feel like I should point out, I've never done this before.
You see the captain get next to you, and he's like, "Hold on, let me do it." And he
that's
helps. He looks at you and says, "I'll help you load the cannon also."
Thank you.
As he points it, and you are in the sights, or you have the first Stug in sights, the one that is next to the bridge. So yeah.
Yeah. I fire at
Okay,
it.
and you use the cannon on the M4 Sherman, please.
Okay, that's the 75. Yeah.
Excellent.
That's, 31 damage.
Hell yeah.
It's fine.
Cool. So you hit the front armor of this Stug as you hear a nice round go through it. It's hit and it's hurting, but now it's the Stug's turn to fire back.
Uh-oh.
You have a round that goes into the top left corner of the Sherman, or just the left corner of the Sherman, piercing it, or not piercing it, but hitting it, and it does ricochet off, but it does damage it. And you're in the pilot seat, or the driver's seat, Pinky, so you feel a large dent hit against the side of the Sherman.
Good. Keep driving.
Okay,
I'm gonna be doing donuts around this other German tank.
Which one can you point it out on the Roll20?
Yeah, it was the one we're shooting at, right? We're shooting at this one.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So you want to?
That's the one we're shooting at, right?
Right.
Okay.
So you want to go around this guy?
Yeah, just keep the tank moving. As long as the tank's moving, we're safer than we are standing still. That's the rule of tanks.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So give me another drive auto, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There it is.
Nice.
4450.
Excellent. So as you are able to start beginning to outmaneuver this tank, you are driving this tank. You hear more explosions and more rounds going over your head, over the other tank, as you begin to go through a snow-covered crop field and plow right into the embankment of this small river that has this bridge that is to the left of you. You begin to come up the other side of this small river, and you have a clear vantage point to hit the back of this Stug.
Up the ass! Send it up the ass!
Keeper, is there a chance for a fuel tank on the back? Just Stugs have fuel tanks on the back?
Their engine would also be on the back, so this would be a great point as you hear the captain go, "All right, I've loaded the next round," and you do have 14 rounds left in your cannon. Are you going to fire, Anushka?
Yes.
All right, give me a fire.
Extreme success for 94 damage.
That's perfect, as you shoot the back of this tank, and you just have a round go through the engine, cut straight through an explosion. As you see the commander of this tank get out, and he's engulfed in flames, as you hear him yelling in German. And with those hard successes, Stonehaze, you open up the 30 cal, killing this burning German soldier as you mow him to the ground.
All right, so Keeper, if you don't mind, what I'd like to do is go up beside of the German tank we just destroyed, and then cross that bridge they were trying to cross.
Okay, excellent. As you are crossing that bridge, you see 4 more Stug Gs descending down onto the village. As explosions are engulfing this village, artillery is coming in. You see American troops running, getting in jeeps and trucks, fleeing over this bridge that you have made safe for them to make their retreat on. And that is where we are going to end tonight's episode of Spot Hidden. I will say the next episode of Spot Hidden could be a very deadly one for the agents of KP.
Have y'all ever seen Mulan?
Because there is a tiger lurking in these Belgium forests.
Ooh.
And it's not the creature that you're actually hunting. So yeah, so that's tonight's episode of Spot Hidden. It's a short one, but we're going to come back next time. We're going to have a long episode for you next time, hopefully. So
completely Carly's fault.
No, we all are pressed for time sometimes, so
it's completely Matt's fault.
You're welcome.
It's my fault. I'll take the blame. All right, but we will see you guys later. We shall see you anon, and maybe we might have a surprise for you, maybe this week or next week. But stay tuned, and we shall see you then.
Stay swoopy.
Oh yeah, and let me just real quick say,
Okay.
thank you to Modiphius and Chaosium. We just want to say thank you real quick because you guys are great, and we can't do any of this without your products. So amazing work to both of you. And now we shall see you anon. Stay spoopy.
Here it
And
is.
until next time, yeah.
Yeah.